Right. Well, hi everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Luis Santiago, and I'm the CEO of Pegasi. We are dedicated to the smart management of healthcare information for cases such as Pablo, who spent 13 hours silently waiting in the hospital because someone lost his ear disorder. The case of Carlos and his son, who were waiting for 14 hours for Pablo's death. And the case of Maria, who spent 16 days hospitalized due to an allergic reaction to a medication given to her by a physician that didn't have access to her medical record. If in Latin America we had quick and secure access to medical information, none of these events would have happened. But we don't. Over 70% of the region's medical information remains unstructured, in most cases, still on paper. And that is why we in Pegasi created a four-step method to structure, process, aggregate, and analyze all of the region's medical information. The first two steps we tackled through PegasiMed, our healthcare information system. PegasiMed's value proposition is unique because it functions online and offline thanks to vSync technology, accessible on any smart device, integrated teleconsultation model, and complies with international standards for interoperability and patient privacy security. The business model behind PegasiMed is B2B, B2G, B2B2C, where the size of the license depends on the amount of physicians enrolled in a market that has over 1.2 million physicians. We expect to have 25,000 of them using our platform by year 3 of operation in a market that's worth over $600 billion per now. The competition behind PegasiMed makes PegasiMed unique because we are the one with the biggest value proposition in a market where our biggest competitor is paper. On the BI side is where the impact opportunity and the revenue opportunity lies for Pegasi. Up to 70% of what we spend in healthcare could be saved if we use big data and AI to analyze this information. And that alone would allow us to enter our healthcare data analytics market that's worth over $50 billion, in where Latin America only plays a very small part. So to sum up what we do in Pegasi, we structure and process all of these patients' information to optimize processes, reduce wait times, and adverse event prevention. Then we aggregate this information for research of new medications, new wearables, and new prosthetics. And the part we are most interested about, real-time public health vigilance. The team behind Pegasi is the perfect match between technical and administrative personnel, spearheaded by a C-suite with over 25 years of experience in the healthcare, IT, and banking industry. And the traction shows we have been doing things correctly. We closed 2019 with $55,000 in revenue, and in 2020 we closed the year with $130,000 in revenue and $140,000 on the pipeline with these great customers. Pegasi is an impact-first startup. We are creating a more efficient data-driven healthcare system with diminished patient costs and paper and electricity usage reduction. Join us on making Latin America and the world paper-free in the healthcare sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot. Thanks. And please, dear judge, it's time for questions. We come back to you.
Great, thanks. Yeah, can you just elaborate on the revenue you've gotten to date? Like, is that fully in line with your core business, or is that related to some other thing like consulting or something like that?
No, it's fully related to our business. We have been having revenue as on the project side. We have developed projects with Roche, Sanfer, and Novartis throughout 2019 to 2020 for data management in the healthcare sector. We, for example, have projects to research cancer, breast cancer, uterus cancer, and we have another one that we are implementing lung cancer in Chile. And those projects, we currently develop them with companies such as Roche in order to aggregate the data that's produced and use it for research of new medications and the diet side.
Okay, great, thanks.
Good answer, thank you. More questions?
Yeah, a lot of the healthcare providers don't like to share the information because then they lose control of the patient. So how do you deal with this?
That's a super good question. One of the first things that we do is that the patient signs a consent in order to share that information. And that consent is also signed in terms of signing the agreement where they start rolling out Pegasi. And then for the healthcare suppliers, one of the things that they see is that they get access to BI, not just theirs, but as a region as a whole. And that overcomes the need to keep the data in a silo for themselves. And the other thing is that we have partnered with larger organizations than us, for example, as I told you, Roche, Novartis, these pharma companies, then the insurance companies, in order for to create this matrix of information that we can use for real population health management. So Pegasi becomes a digital transformation alliance for the region and hopefully for the rest of the developing world in the short term.